Hello and welcome again to Chris's Caribbean Delights. And today we're going to fry some drumsticks. We're going to fry some drumsticks, nice and crispy and well seasoned. And let's go to those ingredients with no further ado and fry some drumsticks. Well, here obviously we have some drumsticks. I have like 8 drumsticks here, 2, 4, 6, yeah, 8 drumsticks here. And I had them seasoned overnight with some, as you can see, some pepper flakes, some bullion, some chicken bullion, some paprika, and some garlic powder, and some complete seasoning. Yeah, and I just let it sit in the refrigerator overnight. I took them out and I dried them off, and now we're ready to fry them. So here I have some flour, I have some all-purpose flour, I have some coconut flour, and I have some cornstarch in here. Coconut flour is optional. I just like the flavor of the coconut flour, and the it gives it a nice fragrance. So that's how we have some coconut flour in there. And we're going to flour it. We're going to season the flour also, because the chicken is well seasoned. Let's season the flour with some paprika. Here. I have some all-purpose seasoning. I have some garlic powder. I have some cumin, and I have some ground coriander, and I have some onion flakes, and I have some more complete seasoning here. Is it complete seasoning? And that's the chicken bouillon, I think. Yeah, well, I'll just list them and let you know. There's a teaspoon of each in here. We're going to just put them all into the flour and give the flour a mix. Give the flour a mix. Just make sure it's into the so this is going to be nice and quick. So we have cornstarch in there, 2 flours, and the seasonings. Now back to the drumsticks. Here. I'm going to put an egg on the drumsticks. I have an egg lightly beaten, and I just pour that on the drumsticks, and then we're going to massage that in. Here, and this is to help the flour to adhere. Your seasoned flour help it to adhere to the drumsticks. So okay, that didn't take long. That egg disappeared. Okay. So now we have our flour. We're going to dredge our drumsticks. Just make sure they get a nice amount of flour there, covered all over. And you always shake off the excess. You shake off the excess because once the flour gets into the oil, it sinks to the bottom and then it starts to burn. But you don't want too much of that happening. So you flour and shake off the excess flour, and then I put it on this on my tray here. I put it on my my cooling rack. I have a cooling rack set in a pan, and that's where I'll just rest them, and I leave them. Once I dredge them, I like to let them sit for about 10 minutes before I start frying. And then I'm going to let you know my oil is going to be at about 350 to 350 degrees Fahrenheit, and I'll let you know how long it takes. Okay, so I'm going to dredge the rest of them, and then I'll be back. So my oil is reading 354. Once I start putting the drumsticks in there, the temperature is going to drop. So let's go ahead and start doing that, and then we just have to maintain that 350. Maintain that 350. So let's drop. And don't crowd the pan as usual. So 4 at a time, maybe. And that's what you want happening here. Just what you see happening there, that's what you want to happen. It must be a very vibrant, frying motion there. A vibrant frying motion. And don't play with them or move them around or anything. I'm just trying to bathe the top with some oil, some hot oil, so that the top would start forming its crust also. But I'm not moving them around. So if you move them around as soon as you put them in, you're going to lose your crust. Everything is going to fall off. Okay, so let's go for 2 minutes on one side, and then we're going to flip them over. I'll be back. So here we are after 3 minutes. After 2 minutes, I flipped it over, and it was getting there. When I checked it, it was getting there, so I left it for another minute. So after 3 minutes, I turned it, and that's the result I got. So 3 minutes on one side, it's nice. It's starting to get nice and golden brown. So we're going to do 3 minutes on this side, and then we'll check and flip it over again and see if we need to get it a little darker, and then check the inside temperature. When you check the inner temperature, it has to be 165, and then you know your chicken is cooked. So so I have one of these that I usually would use. So once I'm up with 6 or 7 minutes and I flipped it and it has a nice color, I'm going to check the internal temperature, and if it's 165, I'll take them off. They're done. So I got my reading. Some of them are 170, some of them are 175. I just prepared another cooling rack with some foil, with some paper towel underneath. Just to grab that grease as it falls, so I don't have a big cleanup. And so they're at 175, a little over. But that's okay. Just put our second batch in. You have to let your oil come back to temp once you take the first batch out. So once it's back to temp, you can start dropping. So my second batch is almost done. Okay, 158. Depending on the size too, of the drumstick too. And here we are, guys. This is the finished product. My drumsticks, my fried drumsticks. Lovely color, lovely, lovely skin. It's nice and crispy on the outside and tender on the inside. Yeah, it's nice and crispy on the outside. Let's get that. Here it is. That crisp test, that crispy test. You can hear that. You can hear that. Okay, so let's do a taste test, and I'm going to show you the inside, how soft and juicy it is. So I'm ready. I'm ready, like Freddy. That's so juicy and tender. So you saw how juicy that was. Now, that's the skin. So that method is foolproof. It's so great. The egg under the chicken, and then you dredge, then you let it sit. It's a foolproof method. Once again, guys, another successful method and recipe. Lots of spices, makes it just wonderful. What else can I say? If you like it, give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up. It helps my algorithm. Like, share, and subscribe, and just share it to your friends and relatives. And I'll see you in the next clip. Coming soon. Bon appetit.